Welcome to the Platform Podcast today, your 10-minute deep dive into the issues shaping our nation. Today, we're focusing on a heated legal battle over affordable housing in Kenya. It's a case that's sparking debate about fairness, law, and who gets a seat at the table. Let's dive in.
At the heart of today's podcast is a high-profile case in the High Court. Activists and lawyers John Ndegwa Maina and Marshal Tito Ongoya have filed a petition to block President William Ruto's directive reserving 20% of affordable housing units for police officers and teachers. This policy, part of Kenya's ambitious housing levy program, sounds well-intentioned, rewarding two critical groups for their service. But the petitioners are calling it unconstitutional, discriminatory, and rushed. Their argument, this directive unfairly prioritizes one group of taxpayers, police and teachers, over others like nurses, farmers, or small business owners who also contribute to the housing levy. They are also slamming the government for bypassing public participation, a constitutional requirement for policies like this. This case isn't just about housing, it's about equity and whether every Kenyan's voice matters in how resources are shared. What do you think? Should certain groups get priority, or is this a step too far?
Let's unpack the legal side. The petitioners argue that President Ruto's directive violates Kenya's constitution, specifically articles that demand equality and public involvement in policy making. John Ndegwa Maina, a vocal activist, and Marshal Tito Ongoya, a seasoned lawyer, are pushing for the court to declare the directive null and void. They are not just challenging this one policy, they are setting a precedent for how far the government can go without consulting Kenyans. The housing levy itself has been a lightning rod for controversy since its introduction. It's meant to fund affordable homes for millions, but critics say it's already a burden on taxpayers. Now, reserving units for specific groups has ignited a firestorm. If the court sides with the petitioners, it could force a major rethink of the housing program. But if the government wins, it might embolden more top-down policies. Either way, this case is a litmus test for Kenya's commitment to fair governance.
Beyond the courtroom, this case is stirring up big questions about society and fairness. Kenya's grappling with a housing crisis. Millions need affordable homes, and the levy was supposed to bridge that gap. But when 20% of those homes are earmarked for just two groups, it feels like a slap in the face to others who are struggling just as much. Social media is buzzing with reactions. Some Kenyans praise the move, saying police and teachers deserve recognition for their sacrifices. Others call it elitist, arguing it deepens inequality. This debate ties into broader societal frustrations, skyrocketing living costs, unemployment, and a sense that the government's priorities don't always align with the people's. The lack of public participation in this directive has also fueled distrust. Why weren't Kenyans consulted? Grassroots groups are rallying, demanding transparency and fairness. This case could either calm those tensions or pour fuel on the fire.
So where do we go from here? The High Court's decision will be a game changer. If the petitioners win, it could halt the directive and force the government to open up the housing program to broader input. If the court upholds the policy, it might embolden more targeted allocations, but at the cost of public trust. Either way, this case is shining a spotlight on equitable resource allocation in Kenya. For now, activists like Maina and Ongoya are keeping the pressure on, urging Kenyans to stay engaged. They're calling for public forums to discuss the housing levy and who it really serves. As one tweet put it, if we all pay, we should all have a say. Will this case spark a bigger movement for transparency? Only time will tell, but it's clear Kenya's at a crossroads.
The fight over affordable housing is more than a court case. It's about who gets to shape Kenya's future. Thank you for watching. If our video resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing to stay updated. Join our community in the comments to share your insights and foster discussions that drive positive change. See you next time.